Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. So, I was recently in a preparedness group, and there was a discussion going on about food storage. And uh, as often is the case, everybody has their opinion, and their opinion is the only one that's right. And if you don't see their way, well, you're an idiot, and which is just simply not true. Let's use some logic, some common sense, and some facts. One of the things that I saw when it was talking about food storage was having a freezer, a deep freeze, or just keeping stuff in your freezer in your refrigerator. A lot of people have two refrigerators. They have a refrigerator and a freezer, and we have a refrigerator freezer, that's in the cabin, and then we have a freezer that's outside. And I've actually thought about adding another small one. And the reason is this: freezing food and putting the food back in a freezer is food storage. What I saw in these discussions is people were fighting because you had a group of people that were saying that food that's in the freezer is a waste because when the grid goes down, it's not going to be any good. And that just blows my mind, because what if the grid doesn't go down? What if we experience some type of hardships or some event? The grid remains, but the food supply is in question. Is that possible? Of course it is. It's possible. Will it happen? Nobody knows. The other thing is, some people have freezers and they have backup systems. They have solar panels and battery banks. They have generators. And when that gets brought up in these discussions, again, you have this group of people over here pointing fingers. You're an idiot. You're never going to survive. Because they're saying, well, when an EMP happens, your solar panels won't be any good. Again, facts, logic, and common sense. What if an EMP doesn't happen? So I just wanted to, there's a lot of people out there that are concerned about the future, and they're just getting into preparedness. And there's also a lot of people that maybe they have been into preparedness, but they never considered freezers as a means in which to have some of their food supply stocked up in bulk, because they've listened to many of those naysayers. And again, we have a deep freeze. We have our freezer in the cabin, and I've thought about getting a small one. You can get some great deals on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. But I just want to show you some examples of some food that we buy, we stock up on. And this right here is a chicken sausage. I got a couple different kinds here. And these come vacuum sealed, vacuum packed, perfect for the freezer. We've had these and had them stored much like these. It's a turkey kielbasa. These are fantastic. They got all different kinds. They have non-turkey. They have other kinds, but these are vacuum sealed already. And I've had these stored for months and months and months. No worry about freezer burn. They're vacuum sealed. Another example is cheese. So whatever kind of cheese that you get, these have stored really well. It's a fairly thick, I don't know what the mill is on these bags, but they're pretty thick, and they have resisted freezer burn. And when I've gone far enough and held these on, and maybe there's a little bit of freezer burn, it's cheese. It gets melted, it's mixed in with other ingredients. It wasn't a problem. And you can buy these. This is Kraft. This is fat-free, but you can buy, store brand very inexpensively. They come in a great bag, and every week or two, get a couple of extras, throw them in the freezer. You could get a really robust food storage program in your freezer, that's just a piece of the puzzle. It's not all your food, but it's a piece of the puzzle. Now, of course, you can vacuum seal. These are chicken thighs, and we vacuum sealed these on July 14th, 2024. And we'll rotate them. I usually don't allow meat to go beyond about a year in the freezer. But I've had frozen turkeys that were bought one Thanksgiving, and I had them after the next Thanksgiving. So they were definitely well beyond a year. You know, they might have been 18 months old. I couldn't tell any difference. These things, again, are vacuum sealed, and I had no issues whatsoever. So one other thing that I wanted to mention about food storage and refrigerators is there's something I've been promoting for quite some time, and a lot of people are shocked or surprised when they hear me mention it. And there's a food that you can store in the freezer, and you can store it long term. It stores really well, and when you thaw it, you would never know that it was frozen. And that's peanut butter. So peanut butter stores really well, and opinions vary on how long a jar of peanut butter will last past the date that's on the jar. Some people say a year, some people say 5 years. But the bottom line is how long it will last starts when you thaw it. So it's a really good way of getting a lot of dense calories and protein in something that you can buy and throw it in the freezer. So anyways, if you got any opinions on this, please share below. I appreciate you guys stopping by. You guys stay safe. Take care. We'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies, hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride, planted seeds where hope